Добър ден, почитувани гледачи. Денеска е 11 юли 2015 година и вие повторно сте со вашата омилена емисија Македонско издание. Оваа програма ве информира за најновите збиднувања во комуната и ве забавува. Сочувувањето и презентирањето на нашата култура, традиција и националност е една од целите на Македонско издание. Затоа често пати емитуваме прилози кои се посветени на нашата историја, како и документарци за нашата земја. Познати македонци кои се родени во Канада исто така често пати се гости во нашава емисија со цел да ги прикажеме нивните достигнувања. Македонско издание се емитува секоја втора сабота на каналите 10, 63, 84 и во High Definition 510 на овие исти телевизиски станици на Роджерс. Репризите се емитуваат наредниот четврток во 5:30 попладне после оригиналното емитување. За сите оние кои не следат на интернет, емисиите се перманентно поставени на нашиот вебсайт www.macedonianedition.tv. Јас сум продуцентот и водителот на оваа емисија, Победа Пискачева, и ви благодарам што одлучивте и ова саботно попладне да бидете со нас во наредниве 30 минути. Емисијава започнуваме со нашата редовна порака. За да набавите возило со врвен квалитет по поволни финансиски услови, јавете се кај Дени на телефон 905 881 3900 и прашајте за спектакуларниот попуст за месец јули, во кој сите оние кои ќе финансираат или ќе земат на лизинг одредени врсти на возила, ќе добијат додатни поволности. Освен Дени Спасоевиќ, кој е генерален менеджер, можете да ги побарате Бане Јокиќ, финансиски менеджер, и Рада Вазиќ, која е бизнес менеджер. Нова локација каде можете да ги добиете овие сите поволности е во Хај Парк на 3275 Дандас Стрит, Уест, Торонто, со телефон 416-762-7537. Во една од претходните емисии ви го прикажавме прилогот што го снимивме на 3 мај годинава во Walter Stewart Library во Ист Јорк за настан организиран од Канадското македонско и историско друштво од Торонто. Имено по иницијатива на Вирџинија Еванс, поранешен председател на друштвото и долгогодишен член на управата на истото, се одржа презентирање на македонската имиграција со поднаслов «Жените и нивните достигнувања». 6 учеснички беа одбрани да ги презентираат своите животни успеси и во емисијава повторно пренесуваме дел од овој настан.
These women today represent the many that are part of the Macedonian Canadian community who are equally qualified. Our first woman to come to the stage is Natasha Denkovsky. This woman achieved a great deal before she decided to come to Canada, both in the arts and in sports as a master shooter. One of the reasons she was chosen was because of the wide spectrum of her interests and accomplishments. But let her tell you about the journey from Skopje to an extremely full and productive life within the Macedonian community as well as the business community. Let her tell you what she has accomplished in addition to being a wife and mother. Natasha.
Thank you, Virginia. Can everybody hear me? Yes. That's excellent. I prefer to talk without mic, and I was told I'm loud, so let's take it from there. I think it'll be easier. So definitely it's my privilege and my pleasure to be here among this wonderful group of women and to have this opportunity to share my story with you. Without any further ado, I know I have 10 minutes, I will try to be on time. Just wanted to give you a little bit of background of where I'm coming from. I was born and raised in Skopje. So as you can see, I still miss the mountains here. And I lived almost 3 decades there. So I finished my education, I had my life, my friends, my family, everybody was there. So this is a little bit who I was before I came to Canada. I was good at sports. I'm the national champion in Macedonia, and I still hold the record in air pistol. As well, I was the member of the team. I traveled, and I had another hobby. I was modeling, so it was good. And kind of, you will say, the life was good. But the times were difficult. Times were difficult in Macedonia, as you know. We had to wait in line to get sugar, to get oil. And then when I was at university, around the second and third year, I started to think about my future. I said, so far, my parents were providing for me, but what's going to happen with me after? How my future is going to look, and what will be the future of my children? Then I thought, what I can do the best, I was good at school. I had very good marks, and I thought, let me see if I can get some scholarship somewhere to go outside and maybe eventually get my master's degree there and eventually start a family, I don't know where. So the idea was, I went to Ohio State University in Columbus. I was one of the best students, and I was awarded for 4 months research where I worked at Columbus with Ohio State University on animal science, so it was meat and meat products, and my work was published at that time. I did a good job, and I was as well invited to finish the 4th year university in Skopje, come back, and I was awarded a scholarship to complete my master's and my PhD there, to be in agriculture engineering in Columbus, Ohio. So that was the plan. But things don't go by the plan. I came back, my mother was diagnosed, she had a brain tumor, she had the surgery, and I had to stay to look after my mom. At that time, my brother left, he got a scholarship in Montreal, so he went to Canada, and I was in Skopje, and at that time, I met the love of my life. So I married somebody who was studying actually in Skopje, Macedonia, and he was actually raised here in Canada, so I knew when he's going to finish school that we're going to come to Toronto, Canada. I was still in touch with Columbus, Ohio State University, but as you know, I'm still here. So that was June 13th, 1996. It was 3 of us with another baby on its way. When I boarded the KLM plane, Skopje, Amsterdam, Toronto. I think I cried for 9 hours for the entire plane. Because feelings were different when I was a student, and now I think because I was a mother, I had kids, I understood that I'm leaving my parents, I'm leaving my family. I literally left everybody there. So to pursue my new future, my new happiness. So when we came, we lived with my in-laws. We were 4 generations in the house. And I learned how to cook from my husband's grandmother, Baba Olga, so she taught me Olga manja, puneti pipirki, gravče tavče. So I was kind of very busy around the house and with 2 babies at that time. And I thought, okay, let's see what I can do the first year. So I started I know I can work because I still have babies. Then I go, okay, let me see if I can go to any tournament in Canada. So I registered for the largest North American tournament in Canada, and I won the silver medal. The first one was Olympic gold winner from Australia, which kind of placed me in a place that I was the first in North America at that time. I also won a medal in the Canadian National Championship, and I was among 3 top shooters in Canada. But I couldn't compete on behalf of Canada because I had no citizenship at that time. And shooting is a very expensive sport, and it's not very popular. So I go, okay, I better focus on my career now, and let's see if I can pursue again my master's in my degree. But again, things don't happen as you planned. And my question was, who am I here? I've completely lost my identity. I was agriculture engineer. Now I'm here. I cannot find a job. There is nothing in this field around in Toronto. There were banks around, so I thought, okay, maybe let's give it a shot. So I'll pursue my career in financial industry. So I took the courses, Canadian Securities, Financial Planning, but it was interesting how to do that and how I started, because at that time there was no Google, there was no internet, information wasn't that available as it is now. And I knew somebody who came from Macedonia before, so it was my dear friend Pobeda Piskacheva. I'm very glad she's here today, and she is dictating me over the phone. Natasha, you are going to go to UFT, so to get an equivalent diploma. Then you're going to go to co-op and I'm writing, taking the notes where you can volunteer. First, they're going to teach you how to write your resume in English so you can get a Canadian experience. Okay, so that's what I did. I went to the co-op program. I learned how to write my resume, so it was targeted towards financial services industry. I couldn't even pronounce that at that time. But it was, and there was actually a gentleman who came from Lebanon, and he said, I was offered a job at TD to be a teller, but I don't want to be a teller because I'm a loan officer. And I overheard it and I go, okay, can I have the name of the guy, the manager? So I phoned him and I had an interview, and they needed somebody who speaks Macedonian, and I was hired without volunteering. Wow, I do celebrate the day, 4th of October 1999. And every year that day, even now, 15 years on the job, I bring cookies to staff, and people wonder, why are you doing that? Because it matters to me. It was my first job, and it was some acknowledgement that I have a future here, that I can pursue my career. So kids were growing, I progressed within my career, and I pursued then my master's finally. Kids were bigger, so I finished at Dalhousie University, obtained my MBA there. So that was a moment I think that as well helped me progress my career even further, and I was as well headhunted from a different institution to do even better and bigger jobs. Then, when I finished my school now, I kind of had more free time. But there was one thing that I wanted to mention. It was tough building and getting there where I'm now, especially as a woman and as an immigrant. There were times where there was a manager telling me, no, you can't be a manager because you have an accent. It was tough. I don't think it's right now like that, but probably 10, 15 years it was like that. So when I finished, I focused as well to my hobby, painting. As many of you know, I exhibit with a lot of artists, and I donate my paintings to a lot of charities, especially in the Macedonian community, to help them raise funds. I've also been here, a lot of my friends, and some of you are here, and thank you so much for coming and supporting me. We did a lot of fundraising for Toronto Distress Center and here for UMD, for the United Macedonian Diaspora, and for 15 years I've been volunteering, helping with fashion shows to raise money for Stefan Eila Church, and as well in the beginning I did for St. Clement. That was the highlight of my career. I cannot talk much because this is a proprietary information, but I was only woman with 8 CEOs in an airplane and private jet. And actually, the owner of the plane, of the company, he was an immigrant and he came from Ireland, and he took this photo for me. And he said, Natasha, I'm going to take this photo so you can show it to your parents. You're a real Macedonian princess. And it felt good to be a woman in an airplane flying everywhere in North America. I helped a lot of people. I was teaching, maybe 700 people across my classrooms, and it was good. And why? Because these 2 young gentlemen now, those 2 babies, the one in the belly and the 1 year old, now they're young men, they have future. They don't have to think there's going to be war. Because in Macedonia, before I left as well, I was told that I might be recruited to be a sniper. That just didn't work for me. I couldn't do that. And I don't have to worry whether my kid's going to have to wait in a line for sugar, for flour, or to be able to get their jobs. 40% unemployment. So I think it's for them. It's worth it. It's worth it. And if you ask me if I were to do it again, I will do it all over again for them.
За сите ваши потреби да купите ново или користено возило под поволни финансиски услови и технички да их одржувате дени или рада од Nissan Willowdale ќе ви помогнат на наш јазик 905 881 3900.
А сега, почитувани гледачи, следува една музичка номера.
Yeah.
За сите ваши потреби да купите ново или користено возило под поволни финансиски услови и технички да их одржувате, Дени или Рада од Nissan Willowdale ќе ви помогнат на наш јазик. 905-881-3900.
И во денешнава емисија имаме неколку информации. За сите ваши прослави и одбележувања користите ги банкет-салите во црквата Свети Климент Охридски во Торонто. За информации и резервации јавете се на 416-421-7451. Канадското македонско место во Торонто е пензионерски дом кој ви обезбедува удобно и хармонично живење. За повеќе информации побарете ја Златка на 416-755-9231. За професионално и поволно дизајнирање на вебсајтови побарете ги TJ Hosting на 647-547-3061. И секако, читайте македонски вести, сега и со детални информации и важни надписи на македонската комуна во Торонто. За сите врсти на животно осигурување, осигурување за критични болести, осигурување на вашиот кредит за куќа, инвалидско и здравствено осигурување и осигурување кога патувате, јавете се на 647-977-0233. Ние ќе ви помогнеме да го одберете најдоброто и најповолното осигурување за вас. Во денешнава емисија ви доставуваме и информација за донесената одлука од страна на председателот на Република Македонија, доктор Ѓорѓе Иванов, за доделување признанија повелба на Република Македонија на македонски иселенички организации. Игралната група Македонка од Торонто, Канада е една од организациите добитнички на ова признание. Другите македонски организации се две од Австралија, една од Шведска и една од Франција. Одликувањата ќе бидат доделени на 21 јули 2015 година во председателската вила во Охрид. На сите членови на групата Македонка, како и на кореографот Алек Петличков, им честитаме за одликувањето. При самиот крај на емисијава повторно следнава порака. За да набавите возило со врвен квалитет, по поволни финансиски услови, јавите се кај Дени на телефон 905-881-3900 и прашајте за спектакуларниот попуст за месец јули. Тоа е се, почитувани гледачи, што подготвивме за ова 360-та емисија на Македонско издание. До нашата наредна средба за 2 недели, кога повторно ќе се видиме со нова програма, ви благодарам за вашето ценето внимание, пријатно и довидување.
no, 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 no.